Hey everyone. So Omen Comics was on Twitter asking if people would review this comic book, White Druid and Michael Nero. Now this is my first time reading it, and we're just going to go through it together. We'll see what we think. Alright, so we're starting with the cover, and we got the title at top. That's a relatively nice logo. I kind of like that. The title, look, coming from the movie biz and whatnot, like, the title's really important. It's really got to grab you. So, White Druid and Michael Nero, I don't know what that means. It doesn't convey the struggle to me. It's just two characters which I don't necessarily have an attachment to. So, I would, if this was a workshop, I would encourage them to maybe come up with a different title. But all right, White Druid, Michael Nero, here we are. I'm guessing the guy on the right, who's looking kind of Jesus-y, is the White Druid, and this guy is Michael Nero, but we'll see. All right, so once we get into the book, we have a big text scroll, in essence, to kind of introduce the world. The seeds of the Tetrad Omega event are planted. The first blood moon has captivated the skies above Kingdom City. The arcane magic that created it has literally turned the moon red. The first of the four blood moons, called Tetrad, is showering the world with waves of infectious psionic energy. These psionic waves are drawing out the darkness in the hearts of men and women everywhere by creating a psychic virus news reporters have dubbed Blood Moon Fever. Corporate and government corruption is at an all-time high globally. War, crimes, and terrorism pile up around the globe as secret wars rage on. Why are they secret? Oh, well. The statistical occurrence of strange supernatural events has skyrocketed worldwide. I feel like a lot of this could be condensed a bit. Like, if we already know that, there's a blood moon sending out psychic energy that is causing people to do bad things, then we already know statistical occurrence of strange supernatural events has skyrocketed. Like, that's kind of an unnecessary sentence. We get it. But this blood moon is also a sign, an omen portending the coming of the new bearer of omen armor, the unleashing of Cain, Lilith, the lords of hell, the first man, and demons and creatures that make up the nightmare of the abyss made reality on the unsuspecting world. The multiverse is beginning to collapse, putting quintillions of lives at risk across the multiverse. The malevolent circle of shadows is trying to bring the dark god of magic to Terra, and the great black dragon lord is pressing to return to our realm. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of stuff to digest. Okay. All right. Well, let's. All right. So we got Lug Sidhi is the White Druid, the Omen versus Mystical Grandmaster. He's the guardian of the alien tree and thousands of years old. Dude. Okay. And then Michael Nero is a punk rocker, drug addict, and paranormal investigator with some special gifts. He's born with third eye, the ability to see planes of exist. Okay. So let's just get in the story. All right, so we're opening up here. Our work, I'm glad to see we got color. And it seems like we're opening here in sexy time. We've got this hut on the plains somewhere. And this woman is got a knife and is having sex. And it's like they opened to Basic Instinct. Awesome. And was it good? All right. So then we go to page 2. Was it good for you? I guess. I guess he is dead. Okay. All right. Well, that's an interesting open. Fair enough. I'm curious as to who that was. All right. An ill wind blows, and there is an ill, and where there is an ill wind, there is ill magic. I wouldn't. All right. So. All right. A little bit on the lettering here. I'm not sure which word balloon I'm supposed to jump to, because this one is leftmost and this one is more in the top. But I guess I'm going to go here. No, I'm going to start with the leftmost. I wouldn't presume to say so, sir, though there is one who might. Nero, my brilliantly foolish apprentice, still he does have the third sight. I lack the clarity I once had. Dialogue is kind of exposition-y. In general, people don't talk in such an explanatory way to go, oh, yes, Nero, my brilliantly foolish apprentice, that guy. Still, I mean, those are two explanatory statements. So we're giving exposition to the audience, but that's kind of clunky dialogue. Then we go on to the next page. A lot of big artwork, like a lot of splash pages, which I like. I like that style. So we got the Confederacy of Dunces is here. Remarkable. Who wants to know which of you is possessed? That's absurd. You can't possibly suggest. I see. And again, with the lettering here, see this one. All right. So I suggest nothing. I see everything, and what I see now is dread. Check and okay. Apparently, we're burning people down. No, please don't bother to leave on my account. This isn't cacophonous of the seventh veil. If it isn't cacophonous of the seventh veil, predictable. Your feeble trap will not save you, son of man. What is a single host when I can wear your flesh instead? Interesting theory, moronic, but interesting. You fail to account for one plan. That, and you can't strike me inside of a sacred circle. You think you know the rules of my kind. I will rend... I will... All right, so, I've gone over the first few pages, and I don't necessarily want to cover the entire comic book, because there are some problems here I want to address. One, and this is kind of a personal rule I've adopted. I haven't seen it written down anywhere, but for me, and one of the advice I give writers is whenever there is a death on screen, which, the comic book opens with one, and then we kind of go to this demon battle here. But I want the writer to pay very close attention to on-screen deaths, because those should be dramatic moments. The fear of death is like the one thing that, we all kind of have. It's part of the human condition, this knowledge that we're going to die someday. And when you're presenting a piece of art, you should be trying to use that. And so when there is a death on screen that you don't have any feelings for, you are now kind of divorcing yourself from the artistic content, because, you clearly have some strong feelings about death. But when you're looking at it on screen and you're just like, oh, this woman stabbed a guy while she was having sex. Meh. And then, you're now kind of divorced from the artwork, and then it can be hard to recover. So whenever there's an on-screen death, I try and encourage people to focus on how the audience needs to feel. And when we're opening here with this on-screen death during the sex scene, it's certainly interesting. Going back to Basic Instinct, which is what it reminds me of, we open with an on-screen, with an on-screen murder during sex, and then the very next scene is the police investigating it. So we're kind of putting this out there to titillate the audience. We're kind of shocked by the violence of the moment, and then now we immediately get sucked into the story of who was that woman? Why did she kill him? And then, over the course of the police investigation, we're now meeting our main character who is out to solve our crime. So, it pulls you in. Here, we got this woman that we don't know killing this guy that we don't know. And then we immediately go somewhere else to, a white druid who's like, oh, yeah, my guy has the third eye. And then we go to the third eye guy. And then, hey, look at this. Here's like a demon. And he never seems... No one in this story so far seems to really express a lot of fear. Even the guy who got stabbed during sex, we never see a reaction shot of him being afraid. So it just seems like a lot of confident people kind of going about their daily business of, you're a demon. Demons don't mean anything to me, pal. And that, again, it's not engaging in an emotional way, because fear, again, that's one of the things we all have. And we would like to see people who are afraid. We can identify with them. And when everyone is kind of confident and full of bravado, I feel it is less than engaging. In addition, it kind of, the audience doesn't know whether a demon is to be feared or not be feared. And so they're going to look to the other character and go, oh, that's a demon. Is that bad? Should we be afraid of him? And the main character's like, nah, man, demons ain't nothing. So now you've kind of taken the audience down this road of don't fear the bad guys. They don't really mean much. And that's not compelling. You're not drawing the audience in. You need to be lining out what the conflict is. And, so far from this story, I get the conflict is that the blood moon is screwing up the world and there's magic everywhere. And we've got these two guys who are going to be out to do something. But so far they're kind of looking cool as they're dispatching demons. But I'm going to put a link in the description so that you guys can find this comic book, and feel free to let me know in the comments if I got it wrong. Other than that, hope to see you in the next video. Take care.